Is voice acting right for you? Do you want to audition 100 times for every one booking if you're doing well? Do you enjoy crippling self-doubt and existential dread? If so, then voice acting might be right for you.
Hey guys, my name is Joe Zj. I've been a full-time voice actor for like 10 years, have completed 8,000 jobs, and I'm the founder of LearnVoiceActing.com, where it's my personal mission to empower the next generation of voice actors by simplifying the industry in a way that everyone can consume. So let's talk about 3 things you should consider when you're wondering if voice acting is right for you. Stick around till the last one, okay? Because that one's a huge mindset shift that I think is really, really important. First, you're probably overthinking the idea of your voice. I talk about this all the time, okay? I think we should have called it like microphone acting or something else, because as soon as you start talking to someone about voice acting, they go, oh, you must have a good voice. My own voice has changed a ton over the years. You wouldn't believe what I sounded like when I started.
God, I am a horrible person! I've been doing this for 20 years and I still play like a child!
No one would listen to that guy and be like, oh, that voice was made for voice acting, okay? I practiced a lot by auditioning a lot, by the way, not by doing any silly vocal techniques or exercises. And over the years, I came to understand not just how to control my voice, but how to control my voice and still sound authentic. And just to show you it matters even less, I'll tell you a story, okay? One of my students had a horrible mold problem in her childhood, one that radically changed the literal biological physical structure of her ear, nose, and throat system. Her voice ended up being very unique because of that, but definitely not what you would consider mainstream. After applying some of the techniques we teach at LearnVoiceActing.com, not only does she already have a handful of bookings, she has literal IMDb credits because she delivered not a voice, but a perspective. One that fits some characters in ways that someone with a straight-ahead vanilla voice probably couldn't have. I've taught students with stutters, other mild speech impediments that have gone on to book work just fine. And history is rife with actors that have voices nobody would call normal. Bobcat Goldthwait, Gilbert Gottfried, H. Jon Benjamin, okay? I have a voice actress friend who sounds like a literal squeaky toy when she talks, and she made a killer career in toy voices. I'll say this until I die, face down on my microphone, it is not about the voice. There may be some client out there looking for your voice right now. It might take some time to find them, but there's a good chance there's an opportunity out there for you somewhere. Second, you're probably underestimating the size of the industry. When people think about getting into voice acting, they're thinking about the tip of the iceberg, okay? The stuff that the public actually sees. We got big name cartoons, anime, video games, and with those big titles are big names. And with those big names is an immediate sense of imposters. Man, I can never compete with those huge A-list celebrities in Pixar movies. How can I ever hope to get started? The truth is, though, that Pixar movies are like 0.00001% of the industry. We don't talk about other industries that way, do we? If you want to be a doctor, nobody's like, oh man, there's that really one famous doctor that's so smart he solved every disease on the planet. I guess I shouldn't start because I'll never be like that. That's a ridiculously self-limiting belief, but we only really seem to apply it to creative careers, and voice acting, it's even worse. Nobody says I'm not going to draw because I'll never be Picasso, okay? And the great thing about this industry is that those public-facing things not only represent such a low portion of the work out there, they actually also represent some of the lowest paying work in the industry. I've talked at length about what pays the most and least in voice acting, and I'll link to all those relevant other videos in the description below. But the amount of work out there in the voice acting industry is so vast and so varied that it's impossible to describe it all in a 10-minute YouTube video. In fact, LearnVoiceActing.com has a blueprint mini course that's like a quick intro into all the different genres of voice acting, and I'll link that below as well. Last, you might not be asking the right question. This is the important one that I wanted you to stick around for. Guys, you can't evaluate anything unless you try it first. And the commitment to trying voice acting is only what you want it to be. That's it. It's totally customizable to your wants, your needs, your desires, and your capabilities. Yes, there are baseline barriers to entry, like the idea that you need the ability to produce a high-quality recording, but all that stuff can be bought secondhand and then sold again at a relatively small loss if you ultimately decide that it's not right for you. I argue pretty strongly with a lot of other industry professionals and actors that put a lot of pressure on new folks and tell them, you gotta go all in. It's all in or nothing. You gotta treat this like a baby puppy that'll die if you don't pay attention to it every second of your day. I just think it's a really narrow-minded way to look at anything in this world. You might try it and love it. You might try it and you only like it a little bit and find that you're cool, dabbling in it every once in a while. Great. It might take off like it did for me, make the idea of going full-time pretty easy, but you never know until you try. We have this bad habit in our hustle culture to say that nothing is worth doing unless you're gonna make a ton of money out of it. But nobody asks the same question about other things, okay? Is playing guitar right for me? Is writing a book right for me? Just do it. I invite you to ask yourself, who's really asking that question? Is it you, or is it the perception of you that you're trying to protect from the outside? You have permission to try whatever you want, whenever you want, at a level of effort that fits your life. Yes, your output will be dependent on your input. You can't expect to play Rachmaninoff on the piano if you only practice 3 minutes a day and never learn how to read music. But you get to decide what relationship you want to anything you pick up in your life, voice acting included. If you want it to be a side hustle, if you want it to be a hobby, absolutely it can be. I hope this video was inspiring and clarifying for you. My mission at learnvoiceacting.com is to, again, empower the next generation of voice actors. I hope that's what happened here. Remember, you're in control. You get to make decisions about your life, both in the context of voice acting and outside of it. I've included a link to some other resources in the description below, and if you could, leaving me a like and a subscribe will help me keep teaching the next generation of voice actors. Thanks, everyone. Now, go get behind the mic in exactly the way you want to.